Okay, so hi, my name is Elizabeth Bischoff, and I'm doing my first learning teaching interaction for my Family 445 class. And I'm not really sure how this is supposed to go, so I'm gonna give it my best shot and just kind of talk about what I've gained from the readings that we've done in the class and kind of integrate them into real life and just some of my own personal experiences and kind of apply what I think that I've learned so far. So to start off, what I really have enjoyed, one of our things, it was from chapter 1, and we're out of the book Family Life Education, Principles and Practices of Effective Outreach. And in the book, it talks about web-based family life education. And when I read this, I was like, yeah, this is really good. This is really applicable, especially to our day and the time that we're living in now. In the book, it kind of talks about how we have all these different sources that we can get, that we have access to, like Facebook and Twitter and MySpace and Instagram and just all these different things, Pinterest, and how we can use these tools effectively and how we can use them to our advantage as family life educators. And how we can take the information that we're learning or the information that we know and we can share it with the community. And it's so accessible, and that's what makes it so great, and that's why the things that we're learning need to be spread on these sites, because they're positive and they're good, and people want quick and easy access to information and tips and things on how they can improve their marriages, their relationships, their family life, all sorts of things. And one way that I've actually done this is in my Family 460 class that I took. It's child and family advocacy. And in that class, you kind of learn how to be an advocate for the family. And in that class, we had to create a Facebook page or a website. And the Facebook page that I created in a group is called Dating for Life. And the description on that page is Dating for Life is an interactive Facebook page designed to renew value in your relationship, to remind you of the purpose of your relationship, and to seek after each other's interests. And Dating for Life is basically that. We're helping those and giving tips on this Facebook page to help you get ideas for, fun date night activities, or just it's for all ages, which is so good and great about it. It's for single, married, if you're dating someone. It's from ages, when you start dating to up till you're 98 years old and you're dating your spouse. It's a great page. One thing that I really liked also in the book was how it talked about marketing. And if you didn't notice, I kind of just marketed this page a little bit, this Facebook page, by mentioning it to you guys. And in the book, it talks about marketing. It has 4 P's. There's 4 P's, and the first P is product. So one thing that I found interesting, well, first off, one thing that I found interesting in the book that it said was family life educators are marketing a different kind of product. It's almost like it's a business in a way. And I thought that was really interesting. They were talking about family life education as a business, but the kind of approach we have, or the kind of effect we have, is a little more effective, because it's something that is continual and something that people always want access to and want advice. And there's tons and tons and tons of books and journals and articles and things out there that have advice on, how to have a better marriage and dating life and all that stuff. And so that's what's so great about family life education, is that you get to market such a positive thing and something that's so continual. And like with this Facebook page, Dating for Life, it's for families, or it's for, those that are married and dating, that are young and whatever. And the product, so we're going to go over the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps are product, price, place, and promotion. And product, so for instance, I'm going to use, Dating for Life as an example. Dating for Life is the product. It's the dating advice site. And the great thing about using the internet as a tool is that it's free. And so the next P is price. And since this Dating for Life site on Facebook is free, everybody wants something that's free. They have free access to it. They don't have to go and pay a bunch of money to get advice on marriage. And the third P is place. So for this one, it's online, so it's easy access for all. And there's other, marriage classes and family life education classes that you can go to that are in a school gym somewhere, or in a church somewhere, and then they are holding it in one of their classrooms that they have. And so the 4th P is promotion. So I just promoted the Facebook site to you guys, my class. And you can promote your, the class that you might be teaching in numerous ways, through flyers, word of mouth, Facebook pages, Twitter, Instagram, all these different things. I mean, we have so many tools at our fingertips that we just need to use our access. And I mean, you can use the flyers and you can post them up in businesses, in schools, on their bulletin boards, at your church on their bulletin board. I mean, you can promote your class or whatever you're teaching. It's easy. I mean, in so many easy ways. Kind of moving on. One thing that I really enjoyed was the evolution and the dissemination of scientific knowledge about families. And what was interesting is I didn't know that the field of science emerged during the 1920s. And the field of science emerged back then because people wanted to know how to fix problems that were plaguing families and marriages and lives. And so they thought that, we can fix this through research. We can do this through research. And so there's Doherty, and he explains family science embraces a vision of making the world better through the work of university-trained professional experts who could generate new knowledge and pass it on to families in the community. And what's so great about this is it's explained, this idea or concept is explained as the trickle-down effect. And the trickle-down effect is scientific knowledge that is found by the university researchers or researchers in general. And then they give that knowledge to the practitioners or the family life educators. And in this case, it's kind of us, because we're learning how to become family life educators. And then as family life educators, you take that knowledge and then teach it to the community, and you spread it all throughout the community. Kind of like how I talked about using media. That's how we spread it. That's how we spread that information that we gain from those researchers that are doing the nitty-gritty stuff that's so important for us to share with the community. Let's see. Okay, so something else that I really enjoyed was the different approaches to family life education. And as I've been practicing teaching in my other classes and kind of in this class too, I noticed that I have a tendency to, I noticed I have tendencies towards 3 different approaches of teaching family life education. And the first approach that I noticed was the expert approach. And in the expert approach, it's where you have the knowledge, like you're an absolute expert about the thing that, or you're an expert about one specific thing. So, okay, for instance, in our major, or in my marriage major, I guess, as a marriage and family studies major, I am picking an emphasis of home and family living. I'm picking an emphasis focusing on the home and how to make living in the home better and more smooth for everybody else. So that's my expert approach on something. That's an example of what I thought as how I'm being an expert in that area. The other approach that I noticed that I have a tendency toward is the critical inquirer approach. And I thought this was really interesting because I tend to ask a lot of questions in general. And that's what this is. This critical inquirer approach is one where when you're in your class and you're teaching, you are inquiring of the audience. So you're asking them what they think on a certain topic or what they think about a certain idea. And you're getting those ideas feeding throughout the group so that way everybody's learning from one another. I'm not just lecturing as a teacher, or somebody else isn't just lecturing. You're generating ideas and thoughts and helping those other people connect with each other so that way they can learn from one another. Let's see, the other approach was the collaborator approach. So that kind of goes along with the critical inquirer approach and the expert approach. It's a mix between the two. So I'm an expert on one specific topic and I might focus in that general area. And then I like to involve the group. So that's where you're like collaborating and seeing if there's other experts in the room on something else. And so that's kind of that. Another portion of the text I really like was beliefs and materials we want to teach as family life educators. This was a little mind-boggling to me. In the text, it says, our personal values may also lead us to choose certain materials to teach certain ideas while ignoring or giving limited exposure to others. So I really liked this because of the school that we were attending. We have a tendency to focus more on being advocates for the traditional family unit. And this isn't a bad thing. And how I kind of connected this was, so in my Family 150 class that I've taken, you study the proclamation of family to the world. And this document is very religious based and helps you to view things from a religious perspective. And what I liked about it is that it also incorporates research into the class, and it backs the family proclamation to the world. And now as a family life educator, I would probably be more I would try to have a happy medium between religious and scientific or research-based things, which is where my Family 460 class came in, and it's the Child and Family Advocacy class. And this class intertwines religious beliefs, solid facts, articles, and political support to advocate for the traditional family unit. And I really loved that class because it helps you to not just always come at things from a religious approach or point of view. and it helps you to see what the world kind of sees when it comes to family education and family life, and what is the family, and what is the actual definition of a family, and what should a family unit look like, and how do you incorporate this, that, and the other thing. And that class just really helps you kind of like look at family life education, I guess you could say, and being a family advocate through a much broader lens. And so those were just some things that I really liked from this week's readings, and things that I noticed that I've learned, and I was able to incorporate so much from what I've learned, and there was so much more that I've been able to incorporate as well, but obviously I couldn't cram it all into this video. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you were able to kind of learn a little bit from my experiences and my classes. And you should also go and check out that Facebook page, Dating for Life, because we got a lot of fun and dating tips and things and ideas for date nights on there. So thanks for watching, and my name is Elizabeth Bischoff, and that's it.